As Virginia Satir said, problems are not the problem. Coping is the problem. And I think that's the thing that really trips anyone up, is when you encounter a problem, the way that you react to it becomes an even bigger impediment than the original thing. It's the cascade of emotions that captures people off guard. It's the cascade of neurochemistry that people think that they have to react to that feels so real that they can't imagine that that reaction is merely from one perspective, that it's not the only perspective. And in fact, if you shift the way that you're viewing what happened to you, you could have a totally different reaction. But people don't see that. And the reaction feels like the manifestation of truth. And that's how people get themselves caught up. That's why failure becomes something to be feared, because the failure feels negative. It feels like a loss. It feels like a death. Because it's the death of the ego. It's the death of the vision of yourself as capable of something. It's the death of your vision of yourself as perfect, as better than. But once you let go of that, once you're able to sidestep that and see the problem in a whole new light, to see the failure in a whole new light, you can have a breakthrough. And that's why Wendell Phillips said, what is defeat? Nothing but education. Nothing but the first steps towards something better. And when you can take that perspective, when you realize that the way that you look at the world will define everything about your existence, and that you choose, that it's literally a decision that you get to make, to choose the perspective from which you see something. So you can look at the failure as the death of something, as proof that you're not good enough, as proof that just like people have told you, you're not worthy. That's a perspective. And if you take it, you're going to see the truth of that. The truth of that will be laid bare before you. It will be evident for everyone to see, simply because you chose it. But if instead you choose to see that as a learning opportunity, as a chance to figure something out, to find out why you failed, to get better, to identify the lack in your skill set, and to fill that in through commitment, through practice, through discipline, to understand that what the human body and mind are designed to do is change. They're designed to get better. So suddenly the failure becomes instruction. It becomes education. And once you have that, then coping suddenly becomes very easy. It isn't the problem. The problem, in fact, becomes the solution. The failure becomes the thing that's going to teach. The failure is the instruction that you need to be great, to be worthy, to be better than people think you are. But it all comes down to your perspective. So, my friends, I beg of you, choose wisely. As Kendrick Lamar said, it was always me versus the world until I found it's me versus me. I think that's where most of us start. We think that there's something outside that we're struggling against. We think that literally the world is against us and we're raging against something, but we don't even know what that thing is that we're raging against. And as you fight and try to make your way, and as you try to accomplish something incredible, you find that you're not making any headway. And that moment that you finally begin to break through and build something extraordinary, in that moment, the realization is that it was always you trying to figure out how to become the best version of yourself. And once you grasp that, once you let the noise die away, once you stop worrying about what other people think, what other people want, what other people have accomplished, what other people have, once you let go of all of that and ask one simple question, how extraordinary can I become? What am I capable of? What are my limits? How far can I push myself in this time that I have on this earth? Exactly how much of my potential can I wring out of myself? And by that, I don't mean something mystical. By that, I mean, how much can I become capable of? How far can I push myself? What can I build? How can I change this world? But all by doing one simple thing, pushing myself to get better every day. And as Napoleon Hill said, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. So the irony is, when you let go of trying to please the world, when you let go of trying to change the world, when you stop trying to move mountains, you will realize that a far harder struggle awaits you. And that struggle is becoming something new. That struggle is becoming something different. That struggle is recentering yourself, finding out who you are, building yourself piece by piece until finally you realize what it takes to actually become a better version of yourself. You realize that it takes nothing less than your everything, your total commitment, every bit of focus that you have, a willingness to break yourself down so that you can build yourself back up. But if you're willing to put in that effort, if you're willing to transform, if you're willing to change and fight and struggle, you will be rewarded with growth. You'll be rewarded with improvement. You'll be rewarded with the ability to close your eyes, imagine a world, and then open your eyes and make that world come true.